What if all parents banned smartphones until kids turn 16? Picture this, a world where every teenager looks at a Nokia 3310 and says, "What is this? A brick with buttons." And where parents don't say, "Put down your phone," but instead, "Wow, you actually talked to a real human today." But what would really happen if humanity decided collectively to ban smartphones for all kids under 16? A smartphone-free youth? An educational utopia, or teenage Armageddon? Welcome to Crazy Maybe, the show where we explore hypothetical scenarios that are sometimes crazier than real life. Or maybe not. A typical day without smartphones. 7 a.m., the alarm goes off. But it's not on a phone, it's a real analog alarm clock, the kind with two bells on top that scream like a car crash. 8 a.m., the school bus. No one scrolling TikTok. The kids look at each other, they talk, they tell jokes in person. It's like 1998 came back with a vengeance, except no one has a Walkman and everyone still has their eyebrows. The brain, the clay, and the tech gurus going old school. According to child psychologist Alberto Pillay, a child's brain is like modeling clay, soft, shapeable, but if you leave it alone too long, it hardens like a rock. And guess what accelerates that hardening? You guessed it, early exposure to digital screens. Meanwhile, in Silicon Valley, the people who invented the digital world, guess where they send their kids? To Waldorf schools where kids play with yarn and write with pencils. No tablets, no apps, no screens, just actual relationships. Like, "Hi, I'm Marco, and today I learned how to make a shoelace trap." Real experiences, no filters. What if we actually banned smartphones until age 16? If this became a worldwide rule, it would be an educational revolution. Children would grow up in a slower world, full of paper, pens, and eye contact. Their afternoons wouldn't be filled with 15-second clips and viral dances. Instead, they'd say things like, "Want to build a fort out of chairs?" Or, "Let's pretend the floor is lava." Memory would improve. Writing by hand, as Pillay points out, activates executive functions like planning and working memory. Stuff TikTok replaces with, "OMG, wait for it." We'd see the return of the paper planner, the one you always forgot at school and filled with doodles instead of homework. Socially, kids would relearn how to read facial expressions, not emojis. Instead of saying, "I stalked their Instagram," "They saw it but didn't reply," "They love me," or "hate me," or maybe they're a bot. They'd say, "I like this person. I'm gonna tell them." In person. Childhood would return to being a physical, emotional human lab, not a digital experiment. And hey, optometrists might sell fewer glasses from screen-induced nearsightedness. Sorry, blurry vision industry. So, are smartphones evil? Not at all. Smartphones aren't pixelated demons, but like Pillay says, digital tools are a risk factor, not the root of all evil. The real problem starts when a screen replaces parenting, empathy, and presence. Banning smartphones until 16 isn't madness. It's a cultural detox, a way to give childhood back to children, and to reduce the hours spent scrolling videos of ninja cats and unboxing influencers screaming at cardboard. No smartphones under 16, utopia or cultural reset. Imagine a world where the best gift for a 14-year-old is a book, not a $1,200 phone. Where kids still know how to copy homework by hand, because yes, pens still exist. Where time is measured in moments, not screen time. It would be a world less digitally connected, but more emotionally connected. But hey, banning smartphones doesn't mean going back to the Stone Age, though slingshots and braids might make a comeback. It means teaching kids how to use tech responsibly before tossing them to the algorithm wolves. Made it this far without scrolling away? Congrats! You might just survive in a world without smartphones. Subscribe to Crazy Maybe, the channel where we explore what might happen if the world went just a little more nuts. Hit that like button, drop a comment, could you survive without a smartphone until 16? Or tell us what your first phone was. If it was a Motorola flip phone, we salute you, warrior of the past. In 2018, a New York Times piece revealed that many top tech executives don't let their kids use the devices they build. Like, yeah, I built the algorithm that steals your attention for 6 hours, but my kid paints rocks. In Sweden, some schools are going full analog, no tablets, just chalk and blackboards. The kids were scared at first, then excited, then covered in chalk dust. What's the new addiction in tech detox countries? Board games. Monopoly rage is back, family betrayals over Clue, and the legendary question, why does Grandpa always cheat at Risk? Neuro nerd fact, between ages 3 and 16, the human brain builds more neural pathways than you can count, unless you're a calculator. But guess what slows it down? A constant stream of fast, flashy, emotional, contextless content. In plain English, TikTok is like fast food for your brain. Here's a final parenting zinger. If your kid asks, why can't I have a smartphone like everyone else? Try this answer. Because I want you to grow up with a free mind, not as a human-shaped algorithm. Crazy bonus. What if adults were banned from using smartphones? All right, plot twist time. What if the roles were reversed? What if parents, aunts, uncles, and grandparents were the ones who were banned from using smartphones, while kids, from toddlers to teens, could freely scroll, post, tap, and game? Spoiler: society would collapse in 3, 2, 1. Scene 1, Mum, put that iPhone down. Picture a mum hiding in the bathroom, lights off, door locked, frantically trying to scroll Instagram on silent mode when her 7-year-old daughter bangs on the door yelling, "Mom, we said no phones after dinner." Meanwhile, Dad gets caught secretly checking WhatsApp under the dinner table. His punishment? 1 week with no Google Maps. He now has to find the gym using a 2002 road map. Terrifying. Real stat. According to a 2023 study, adults spend an average of 4.5 hours a day on their smartphones. And for most, the first thing they touch in the morning isn't their partner. It's not even the coffee. It's the phone. Sad or addicted, you decide. Scene 2, the analog dad. A dad tries to show his son a picture on his phone, but the son interrupts. "Dad, the rule says you can only use Kodak slide projectors now." Meanwhile, kids are playing Fortnite, building Roblox empires, and giving their parents allowances in NFTs. "Dad, I'll give you 10 Dogecoin if you go a whole day without checking Facebook." Suggested gag, visual or voiceover. A mum tries to scroll through a paper IKEA catalogue and gets confused when double tap doesn't zoom in, or a dad trying to close a real window and yelling, "Where's the X button?" The takeaway? Maybe we're so hooked on our phones that the only way to break the addiction is to be treated like our own kids. Maybe before we ask kids to disconnect, we should learn how to go 5 minutes without checking if our post got any likes.